Dak Prescott, in so many ways, is too smart for you, too smart for me, too smart for us. Dak Prescott working out in the backyard, and we're here to talk about it. Not my backyard. Although, we can get some things done back here, but he's at the backyard at the Star. You've seen our video with Bree, I'm sure. If not, you can find it right here on our channel. It's Dak at work. And he was doing this kind of stuff before the Wednesday press conference. He's probably doing it again today. And here's where the smartness comes in. I've reported that I think he probably over-rehabbed, probably pushed it too hard at some point. I believe that's the case. But now you see the video and you see he's on the road to being fine. Here's where the smart part comes in. I know what they think privately because they've told me. End of April, hope to be 100% by the end of April. Full participant in off-season workouts. Okay? But at the press conference, when everybody was trying to pin down Dak, okay, what's the date? When are you going to be? He said, I'll be ready when it's time. Now, when is it time? I think that he thinks that it's time when we get to mini camps and OTAs. He's not talking about week 1 in September. That's not ready. If the very first time that Dak Prescott is 100% is the Tuesday before week 1 in September, that won't be good. And that's not what he means. But he's also smart enough to play coy about trying to pin down a date. He joked about wanting to jump up on the podium at the Star, kind of dance around and show everybody. I don't know if that would have been a good idea or not. I don't know if the trainers and medical people would have thought that was a good idea. But he's doing all these other things. He is running around, and he is working out against the cords, and he is working with the trainers. We reported here, exclusive, on February 28th, that Prescott's rehabilitation following ankle surgery could allow him to be 100% by April. Second source telling us then should be fully involved in off-season work. And now we're seeing all those things come to fruition without Dak being foolish enough to let us pin him down to a date. Really wouldn't have made much sense, would it, for Dak to say, on Tuesday, April 17th, I'm going to be 100%. Probably won't work that way. It'll be a gradual buildup and a continuation of a gradual buildup. And then at some point, I believe, in mini camps or OTAs, he'll cut it loose. And that'll be the end of that. The rehab too hard thing is something that I think Stephen Jones alluded to a bit when he talked about checking all the boxes, talking about seeing him in the building, and obviously getting reports from the medical people in the building. By the way, he's not the only person rehabbing. When I ask every once in a while somebody on that part of the building, hey, how's the rehab going? They're quick to respond to me by saying, which one? Which guy? Like any football team, they got a bunch of guys down there who are working together and rehabbing together, and Dak is one of them. Which brings us to Dak Prescott's leadership. Stephen said this on the podium Wednesday. And because you heard it live and in context, nobody really blinked an eye. Then you see it in print, or I'm going to read it to you. The way that some people have written it, which removes the context a little bit. Then I'm going to bring you to my man, Michael Irvin, and he's going to try to help us with the same point. Here's Stephen. You want him in your foxhole, number one. Okay? This is about Dak Prescott, not just the player, but the person. Checks every box in the key categories of leadership. Insatiable appetite to want to be the best, to outwork everybody. And again, I know that the Joneses saw that in the building here in recent months, if they had any doubts before. Okay, now here's the shortened version of the quote. The insatiable appetite, want to be the best, outwork everybody. Tom Brady has that. That's the shortened version. So, did Stephen Jones just compare Dak Prescott to Tom Brady? Yes, in context. Because the first thing he says about it is, it's totally unfair to compare him to somebody like this, but Tom Brady has that. Fiery competitor, winner, and a leader. He has an insatiable appetite to be great. That's fair. That's not outrageous when you put it in context. So then Michael Irvin goes on the Stephen A. Smith show, and Irvin says the same thing, basically. Irvin says, we have the closest thing in the National Football League today to Tom Brady at quarterback for the Cowboys, we being the Cowboys. That's what we have. Because Dak Prescott has the ability to do what Tom does, and he has the leadership like Tom. That was on the Stephen A's World show. Irvin, Dak Prescott, his leadership and how these guys follow him was well worth him becoming the highest paid quarterback in NFL history. Context. Nobody's saying that Dak Prescott is Tom Brady in all the things that Tom Brady is. Tom Brady's got 7 Super Bowls, okay? Dak turns 28, I believe, this summer. Dak's not going to win 7 Super Bowls. That's impossible. Virtually impossible. Cowboys aren't going to win 7 Super Bowls. Assume Dak Prescott plays, I don't know. Again, Jerry said 10 more years, and then Dak said 15. Realistically, Dak plays 7 more years. To win 7 Super Bowls, he'd have to win a Super Bowl every year the rest of his life. Ridiculous. But that's not what they're saying. They're not saying he's as tall as Tom Brady. They're not saying that he's more handsome or less handsome than Tom Brady. They're not saying he's going to marry Gisele Bündchen. They're not saying those comparisons. What they're talking about, as football fans probably know, as it relates to the Super Bowl, they're talking about the stuff that Tom Brady does that changes the building. He walked into Tampa Bay, which was one of the, I was always told, kind of one of the country clubs in the NFL the last couple years. Kind of one of the, just take it easies. We'll get through that. Don't worry, we'll get through this. Which isn't, you can't approach it that way. Not if other teams are approaching it the other way. And he walked in the building and he changed it. The presence of Tom Brady made everybody involved in that organization, every janitor, every secretary, every player, every coach think, wow, we got Tom Brady. We can win a Super Bowl. His sheer presence, not that he was a perfect quarterback this year, he wasn't. He wasn't even the best quarterback. Again, by the raw measurement, he wasn't the best quarterback in football, not even close. But leadership, follow me, believe in me, because I believe in you. Tom Brady is the best quarterback in the history of football when you bring those categories into it. Tom Brady, the week of the Super Bowl, was texting players at 2 in the morning. Sometimes it'd just be 3 words, we will win. Sometimes it was a text at 6 in the morning, and it was a short video clip of a play where the guy had succeeded on. Now, on the one hand, if one of your teammates is texting you at 3 in the morning and 6 in the morning the week of the Super Bowl, you're probably kind of miffed. But it was Tom Brady, and he had a message. And the message was, we will win. The message was about leadership. That's Dak. That's the comparison. This whole building believes in Dak Prescott as the face of the franchise. Not that he's the best quarterback, but that he's one of the best leaders they've ever bumped into. And if Michael Irvin endorses that, as he has to me many times, and now he has in this reference point to Brady, because Michael Irvin's the greatest team leader I've ever seen in any sport at any time in 40 years of covering professional football. The greatest. And Aikman endorses it, and Staubach endorses it, and on and on and on. Some of the greatest leaders in sports history are telling you thumbs up in this category on Dak. So don't fall in the trap of saying Dak equals Brady. That's ridiculous. No. Take a step back and look at the big frame. Dak has a chance to equal Brady in the area of football leadership. That's the comparison. And that's a damn good one. Fish.